Hi everyone, welcome to Saturday. Let me tell you about my day, because I have had a very interesting one. There's been some lows. There's also been some highs. There's been good things and bad things that happened today. So strap in, and I'll tell you all about it in my little recap of today. You might be saying, is this filmed at the end of the day? Yes, filmed at the end of the day because I spent a lot of the day resting suddenly, just like, oh, tired. But there's all sorts of other little tidbits of info in here too. So first things first, last night went to bed, took 10 milligrams of melatonin. First time in years I've used melatonin, and it worked. It made me sleepy and helped keep me drowsy, because I actually managed to fall back asleep after I woke up, and that's the first time that's happened in a long time. I slept for, I don't know what it was, some amount of time, several hours, a good chunk of time last night, and Kepler didn't wake me up until a little bit later than he had. So that was another good thing, is that between giving him his food a little bit earlier, because I set his auto feeder an hour sooner, and I also put in that whatever the little pheromone thing. I'm assuming that some combination of this, and then also kept just getting used to the idea of being locked out of the room at night, has helped, because he didn't start making noise and screaming and stuff until an hour, 90 minutes later than he usually has been doing it. It didn't start until 7:30. So at 7:30 he started doing that, and it didn't really last all that long. At the time it woke me up, I got up, went to the bathroom, and then I got back in bed, and it took a little bit of time, but I fell back asleep. And that's just a huge win. I have not fallen back asleep in a long time. It's just been a long time since I've been able to actually successfully go back to bed. But I did. And then I got up at, I don't know what it was, 9:30, I think. So I got up at 9:30. Mal wanted to continue sleeping and try and get more rest, and I was like, that's fine. So I got up and I worked on stuff. And, I had probably gotten a few things done, and then Mal got up and we had lunch. And then after lunch, I started getting really, really tired again. And I was like, okay, well, even though I did get some sleep and I went back to sleep, I didn't get a full night's rest. And obviously I'm still behind on sleep. So I was like, okay, that makes sense. I'll lay down. And I remember I was on the couch, and I was so tired at the time that I literally just laid down on the couch. We had just finished lunch. Mal got up to go work, and I was like, I'm just gonna lay here. So she covered me up with a blanket, and I just laid on the couch for, I think, 90 minutes or so. After that, my parents stopped by for just a little bit, because they, what were they doing? They had dropped off some mail for us, because we had some mail. And then we also had a bunch of Tupperware from whenever we had done, I think it was from Cinco de Mayo, I don't know, but we had to give them all their Tupperware stuff back. We chatted for quite a while. And then after that, it wasn't too much longer, and we had dinner. We had dinner, and right after dinner, it was just about 9:30 p.m., and I was absolutely exhausted again. And I was like, I am so tired. And I've been drowsy kind of all day, and I guess maybe that was a byproduct of the melatonin. I wasn't really sure exactly how much melatonin to take. When I picked some up at CVS, they came in various bottles. There was one that was 3 milligrams, there was one that was 5 milligrams, and then there was quite a few that were 10 milligrams. So I ended up picking up a 5 milligram, but when I took it last night, I took 2, because the standard size for so many of the other ones was 10 milligrams. I don't know if maybe I needed less, or maybe I am just tired, on my own. So I don't know what's happening. Anyway, I've been drowsy all day. But after dinner, it was about 9:30. I went back to sleep because I could not even keep my head up. I was that exhausted. And I went in, and I had to get up once or twice to go to the bathroom. But by and large, I slept 5 hours. So I woke up at 2:30 in the morning. And I haven't talked about it in the past few weeks because I wasn't really involved in choosing my team, but sumo is going on. And tonight was actually the final night of the tournament. So a lot of folks in our group were staying up to watch it. So whenever I got up, Mal was still up and was watching sumo. So I got on the call just to chat with everyone and to catch the very end of sumo. Again, I normally tell you like who my picks were and everything, but I didn't pick because while it was going on, I think it was during Coliseum that like the draft was, and I was busy or sleeping or something, and everyone else chose for me. So I haven't been terribly invested in this particular tournament, and I was interested to kind of catch the end of it, but I didn't really get a chance to be terribly involved in the whole process. But, we were watching it, and I had been up for about 45 minutes, and even though I had just slept 5 hours, my body was like, you are exhausted. And I'm like, you gotta be kidding me. And, like, on the one hand, I'm like, you gotta be kidding me, but on the other hand, I'm secretly, like, overjoyed, because between the amount of sleep that I got last night and then the 5-hour nap that I had, that is the most sleep I have had in a 24-hour period in over 2 months. Like I have not had, I don't think I've had 8 hours of sleep in a 24 period in 2 months. And so to get whatever that was, 10 hours or something, it's certainly not been convenient, but it's kind of welcomed. I have not been sleeping well, and that's not really anything new because I've talked about it so openly in the last little bit on the vlog, but it's just I did have some other things to do, so I think that's one of the things is like there's been stuff I've put off every day. Like I've needed to record more Mario, and I haven't been able to do it. I just haven't. There's been times where I'm like, okay, I'm gonna do it here, and then I can't. I physically can't. I get so tired. So I'm gonna try and do that tomorrow. But anyway, that's kind of where we're at. Is now it's pretty late. I will tell you who won the sumo basho, Emmy, which is interesting because Emmy won the last one. So she actually won 2 in a row. Mal stayed up to watch, partially because she was really interested to see if she would win. She has not had an 0-4 the whole tournament, and then today, on the final day, when I think she just needed one of her people to win, she went 0-4. And none of her fighters won, because she actually would have won the tournament, but none of her fighters won any of their fights today, and she lost. And I was like, well, that sucks. But congrats to Emmy, again, 2 tournaments in a row. I am tired, and as soon as I'm done recording this, I'm going to go to bed again. God. And I'm just going to sleep for as long as I can. In the morning, I'll get up, and I'm going to try and do Mario and get that out, because this is what we need for like Monday. Like if I don't get it done tomorrow, there will not be Mario this week, which is not ideal, but also I am sure folks would understand just because things have been really bizarre lately. And I'm proud of Kepler, there's actually been pretty big advances every day for how he's done. Oh, speak of the devil. Hi, buddy. Look, you're on camera. Oh, good boy. And it's true. He's done a really good job of waiting longer. And I did move his auto feeder back an hour, but it made a difference. Like all these things are actually making a difference, and it's slow going, and I think that's the thing that sucks. You can vibrate the mic, but it is working, and that's the takeaway, and that's the thing I'm excited about. Final thing. I said that I would talk about. Hi, buddy. You're sweet. I would talk about some of the crazy dreams that I was having, because I don't know if that's just a well-known thing for melatonin, but it definitely caused me to have a wild assortment of dreams, 2 of which I very vividly remembered, and one of which ended up being a what's that movie? I can't remember the name of the movie. The movie where it's like it's the dream inside the dream. Anyway, I had a dream inside a dream, which is not typical for me at all. I'll start with the sadder dream, because this is a really depressing dream. But I had a dream where, and this was when I took that 5-hour nap from 9:30 p.m. to 2:30 a.m. I had a dream that it was me and Mao and my parents, and I had looked out into the distance, and there were like multiple tornadoes. There was like crazy amounts of like 5 or 6 huge tornadoes. And we were next to this forest with these really, really tall trees. And I was like, oh, the tornado's coming. We have to get up into the tree. Whatever. So there was this really, really big tree that was probably, I don't know how many stories tall, like 10 stories tall. It was crazy. And it was like a treehouse type thing. Like you climbed up it. And it never, like inside the dream, it never showed us climbing up that. It was like we saw what we needed to do, and then the next shot in my dream was that we were just up there. But we were up there, and I was like, okay, we'll be safe up in this tree for whatever reason while these tornadoes are going on. And it was me and Mao and my dad and my mom. We were all up in this treehouse. And when I say treehouse, I mean like a child's treehouse, like wood slats for floor. Nothing fancy, but not just a tree. Like there was some sort of like structure up there. And Kepler was up there with us. And I remember looking over, and my mom and my dad were sitting on this platform. Kepler was over by them, and Kepler was, whenever a cat's jumping down from something, is like kind of like looking over the edge. And I remember looking over, and like Kepler was like going to jump down the tree, and I was thinking, you can't do that. And then he did. He jumped down the tree, and I was like, and mom was sitting next to him, and mom was like, oh my God, Kepler jumped out of the tree. And I was like, he's never done that before, which I guess implied that we had been up in the tree before. And I remember immediately thinking, like, there is no way Kepler survived the fall out of a 100-foot tree. And I got down the tree. Again, my brain never showed me getting down the tree, because I guess that it couldn't process that. And whether out of incredible determination on behalf of Dream Kepler, or because my subconscious did not want to imagine Kepler deceased, Kepler survived. There was, at the base of the tree, there was a big, like a Tupperware of, not Tupperware, a basket, like a basket of laundry, which kind of makes sense because we've been doing laundry, so we have some baskets of laundry around. And Kepler had landed in the basket of laundry, but he had broken both of his back legs. So he wasn't crying, but he was like trying to crawl out of the laundry, and both of his back legs were like completely out flat. And I was like, oh my God, buddy, I'm so sorry. But like he was otherwise okay. And we went the next part of the dream is really weird. We ended up going to like, it wasn't a vet. It was like not a factory, but like a science thing. I don't know, some sort of like place where they would do science work, like a lab or something almost. And then we were talking to some guy there, and we also had Kepler, and we were talking about something unrelated to Kepler, and I was like, also we have our cat. Can you fix our cat? And he was like, oh yeah, he's got to go in the special machine. Anyway, then I had to wake up to pee. So like that dream never got resolved. But I think Kepler ended up being okay in the end. I remember having that dream and then waking up to go to the bathroom, and I was still very like super foggy going to the bathroom. And then I came back into the room, and Kepler had actually been, I was napping on the bed, and I've let him in there as long as it's not, night. So he was actually napping with me on the bed, and I remember seeing him and giving him a scritch on the head, and I was like, I'm so glad that you didn't jump out of a 100-foot tree. Okay, very quickly, I'll tell you another dream. This one is not as depressing. Last night, whenever I was doing my normal sleep, so when I woke up this morning, I had a dream where me and Mal we went somewhere, and we were looking at like a clothing store, and they had this clothing, and Mal picked up this hoodie and was like, oh, this is a really cool design on this hoodie. And it was a pixelated design of a character. And the best way I can describe it is like, if you're familiar with the Moonanites from Aqua Teen Hunger Force, it was like a bizarro version of one of those characters where it was like super pixelated, just kind of an outline. It was like red and yellow. And it was like a character like doing some sort of move, but it was like a really like rudimentary. And in the dream, I was like, oh, that's from a game that I've first 20'd. And Mal goes, oh, okay. I was like, oh, it was a really cool game. It was like a top-down twin-stick shooter or something. And she goes, oh, okay. It's a really cool design. I was like, oh, well, let's get it because I think you'd like the game. So then we buy this hoodie in the dream. And she goes, but what's the name of the game? And I was like, I just can't quite remember the name of the game. So then I woke up. And when I woke up, I go, oh, the name of that game is Night City. That's what it is. That game is Night City. And then I got up and I guess I had to go to the bathroom. Then I woke up and I was like, I did not get up and go to the bathroom because that game does not exist. There is not a game called Night City where it's a top-down twin-stick shooter where you play as a Moonanite-like character. That's not a real thing. And it was very funny to me because it was only once I woke up in real life, that I thought back, because when I first woke up, I was thinking about things and I was like, yeah, I got up to pee a few times. And then I started to slowly go back through it, and I was like, wait a minute. Night City's that's not a real game. That's not a real thing. That was a dream. And that's just kind of neat, because I can't personally recall any other time. I'm sure it might have happened before, but I've never had, a dream within a dream. And that was just kind of neat, I guess. Anyway, kind of a long vlog, but that's a good, healthy update about what's going on. I am exhausted. I think maybe I've been exhausted today because of the melatonin, some kind of combination of the melatonin as well as just being exhausted in general. I am not going to take melatonin tonight because I am already so tired, and I'm going to go to bed. And even if I only get a few hours of sleep, that's okay. It'll put me waking up in the morning, and I'm hoping I'll feel pretty rested, and we'll just go from there. And then he's been doing increasingly better about staying out and not losing his mind, because again, when we went to bed last night, he did not make any noise and do anything until 7:30, 7:45 in the morning. So he did really good. So it's getting better. It's getting better. It's very easy, I think, to become overwhelmed, especially when you're dealing with something like lack of sleep, which affects so many important facets of your day-to-day and your motor control and everything. But when I realize that there is incremental improvement every day, it helps put me at ease a little bit. I wish things were better now, but they're not. And at the bare minimum, I can see that things seem to be improving slightly. So I'm holding on and keeping my fingers crossed, and I'll keep letting you know. I would have loved to have kind of recorded things throughout the day. I did not. Partially because I've been super tired, and I will try to do a little bit of a better job tomorrow, but we'll see. You ready for bed too? You're cute. You're real cute. Show everyone how cute you are. You're a good boy. Yeah. He's a good boy. All right, folks, thank you so much for watching. And as always, let's meet back tomorrow, shall we?